Hello and good evening, Facebook. How are we all today? So if you end up coming on this, jumping on this live as I'm chatting away, then please feel free to say hello, give us a comment, give us a thumbs up. If you end up watching this after the event, then please feel free to put a comment in the comments box. But 10 weeks, I know, 10 weeks. Some of you may be saying that you've been banging on about this thing called the Tao and exploring, this piece of 2,500-year-old wisdom and trying to work out how it fits in the world today. So what have my reflections on this week been? The biggest word that's resonated for me this week has been about humility, about humbleness, about choosing to be vulnerable. And definitely today is one of those days where I've definitely been very vulnerable. I've just sat quite comfortably and explored every aspect about how I do the world, how I do business in the world, should I say. And so, yeah, the being at peace, the being at ease with everything, connecting with your innate nature. One of the things that's also really resonated for me this week is about some of the judgments that people make around how they differentiate between different human lives, is choosing to see one life as more valuable and more important than another, as opposed to just truly respecting everybody and their contribution to the planet. We are all different human beings. And we need to be, and everybody else needs to exist in order for me to be uniquely me. And I can quite easily see sometimes how the dilemma exists for some people because they've been taught to believe that it's important to continually differentiate and emphasize the differentiation between themselves and other people. And of course we don't really need to, because you are uniquely you as I am uniquely me. There isn't a single other person on the planet that is different, that is the same, that we are all uniquely different. So maybe sometimes actually the things that we need to emphasise and explore is how we're the same. Not on a superficial level, because we drink the same drink or we, drive the same car, but the fact that, that we all have hopes and dreams and aspirations. We do them differently in different ways. That we all have people that we cherish and that we love, and there are those people that challenge us in our lives around what we do. And to be mindful of those things, and that we're in those relationships with those people, but also to recognise that at times some of those seeking the difference causes us to want to explore how we differentiate ourselves in the outside world. So it leads us to be in constant competition around our thinking and our ideas with people, as opposed to just simply recognising that we are always going to be different, because different people think and feel different things. And competition suddenly at times sets us up, and eventually competition in the extreme means that we end up with enemies and we fight, as opposed to wanting to be able to collaborate. And when we're in that position where we're fighting with ourselves internally, then that can cause some challenges and do some damage. The one thing I'm sure for any of you that have ever visited a battleground, be it on your way north to Culloden in Scotland, or whether it be live because you've actually stood on one, then the one thing that you do know is that it has a heavy toll on any things, and you've only got to possibly look at some of the photographs that you can see places like Raqqa right now to see the fact that it's destroyed, but there are still families living there, and the one thing that has the long-term impact is on the battleground. Families will rebuild themselves, people will spend time, they'll need some support in order to be able to do that. But that's the difference that driving difference makes. And so one of the things that certainly in my work as a coach and a therapist I'm always really mindful of is that, as I talked yesterday, when the devil's on one shoulder and the angel's on the other, and they're having a discussion about whether you can or you can't, the battleground is you. all that stuff is going on in your head. It's your body that becomes incredibly stressed. It's you that ends up, that living in the consequences, the long-term consequences of having excessive stress levels in your body, the human stress hormone. Whereas actually, maybe we just need to learn to be a little bit more at peace with ourselves. And so very definitely the word for the day in day 70, which I'll share with you now, is about being at grace, being at peace, being at ease, allowing yourself to be at ease with yourself. Because whatever will be, que sera, sera, in the words of Doris Day. There are certain things that I can't influence in the next couple of moments. I can't influence the quality of my heartbeats because they're happening. I can't significantly change the quality of the air. I can't change the weather. So actually, whatever's occurring now, it must be enough. And I think we get locked into a place where we don't spend enough time recognising to be at peace with ourselves and that we are enough. And possibly it's really important sometimes to recognise that some of the demons that exist in the world for people, they are just the teddy that's fallen into the bed when you turn the light on, and that maybe we simply just need to recognise that we are enough. So, I am enough. You are amazing, and you know that. And we're all beautifully good at what we do. My dad always used to say, you are a world champion. You might be only a world champion at B&E in Pitchford, but you are a world champion. And so just remind yourself that you are beautifully, uniquely you. You can be at peace and at grace with who you are. And so, 10 weeks in. Wow. 1.5 weeks to go. Let's see how that goes. But yeah, what a great thing to have done and explored. What do I think the legacy of this will be for me? I don't know. At times it's been quite tough to explore some abstract ideas to see how they fit into the world today. But having a good old rummage around and a good old spring clean, questioning how I think about the world and where does that idea come from? And is it okay to think that? As in, not whether it's okay because it's okay because someone else said so, but is it okay for me? Does that idea and that thought cause me any issues, or is it okay to be able to think those things? That's been a really powerful part of this journey. So, wishing you all to be able to connect with your own sense of inner peace, even for just a moment. Remember, take a big deep breath, deep down in your belly, and then release, and go again, and again, and again. And since you're going to be breathing anyway, you might as well do it in a way that allows you simply to calm your central nervous system and enjoy being peaceful and graceful in the world. So I shall see you all soon.